2024 was a pretty horrible year for prop firms, but 2025 is looking up. We are seeing a lot of new prop firms come into the space, and we're seeing a lot of rule changes, a lot of the times for the better. And I would say we are seeing a lot more traders getting funded. So the question is simple: which prop firms are actually worth your time and which are quietly draining your wallet? Well, I've been in the trading industry for well over 8 years. I've been in prop firms in particular for 3 years, and here at Blue Edge Financial, we've helped over 1,200 members get funded with prop firms. And it's because of this we have this amazing opportunity to see a lot of data come through based on multiple different prop firms. And it's also worth noting that we are not affiliated with a single one of these prop firms. Look down in our description, you will not find an affiliate link anywhere. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate prop firm tier list for 2025. And this is not based on hype, it's based on real results, payout consistency, trading conditions, what platforms they offer, what challenges they offer. I've dug deep and I've done so much research on all of these prop firms and gathered all the information to give you guys the best possible tier list that I can. So as mentioned, guys, I've put in so many hours getting the data, getting the information so that I can breeze through this video for you guys. This is not going to be a mini review video for every prop firm. This is just going to be selecting the prop firm, putting it on the tier list where I feel it deserves to be, and then moving on to the next one, because I want to get through this tier list as fast as possible so you guys can get on with choosing the prop firm that's right for you. So as you can see, I've created a table that I've got all my information ready to go. And how have I been doing this? So I've been looking at things like reviews. I've been looking at every single prop firm, what they offer, what challenges they offer, what platforms they offer, what is their spreads like, what is their conditions like, what people are saying, are their payouts good, are they fast, are they bad? Everything. I have taken everything into account, and I've tried to be as unbiased as I possibly can. But there are instances where, based on what our community is seeing and what the general feel is, might be slightly different, and I will be addressing that as well. Then on top of that, obviously I'm looking at the Trustpilot reviews. So I'm also looking at this one, Trading Compass, which gives a more recent filtered rating of what's happening in the last 2 weeks or so. So worth looking at that as well. And then another thing I look at is this website called Payout Junction, which gives an idea of what payout or how much is going out from prop firms. And this gives you a good idea of the amount that these guys are paying, which is a good thing. If these guys are on the top of the board, there's a good chance that these guys are going to be paying you out. All of this stuff I've taken into account, and we're going to be putting all of this onto the tier list. Now, for those of you who don't know what a tier list, this is a tier list, very simple. We have S down to D, S being the best of the best, and then working your way down to D, which is your not so good. We're going to be rating 20 prop firms today. These are the ones that we've seen come through our door most and the ones that we have the most data on. Now, if a prop firm doesn't end up on this list, it doesn't mean that it's not worth trading. It just means we do not have enough data to be putting it on here. I'm not going to pretend like I know something about a prop firm that I don't, but if these prop firms come through our doors, we will be doing reviews on them soon. So just worth bearing in mind. Right, I'm going to start with the most obvious, which is FTMO. That's going to be S tier. Has always been the gold standard, and at the moment is still the gold standard. I think everyone compares themselves to FTMO, been around the longest, one of the highest in terms of ratings. The only thing I can say about FTMO is that they are kind of putting some profitable traders on a 1% risk really quickly. Other than that, I'm not seeing anything else, but still S tier for me. All right, next up, we're looking at Alpha Capital. For me, Alpha Capital is an A tier prop firm. So what I've got here is their Trustpilot rating has improved significantly since the last time I did this list. So clearly showing improvement, and just a great prop firm, A tier. So next up is Goat Funded. For me, Goat Funded is a C tier. The reason being is that they're similar ratings to last, slightly worse on the 1%. So last time I had them at a C tier. They're lucky not to have bumped down to a D. We're going to keep them on C, but their 1-star rating is worse this time round. All right, next up, guys, Blue Guardian. Blue Guardian, unfortunately for me, is a D tier. So the main reason being is that they still breached on Trustpilot, and that was over 6 or 7 months ago. I think that they were breached last time. I've not seen them unbreached since, and their ratings are actually worse, and also their prices have increased. So for me, Blue Guardian stays a D tier. So next up, we've got Seacrest Funded, which is a D tier for me. Now, Seacrest is formerly My Funded FX, and they were D tier for me then. I would say maybe they are making some waves, trying to get better. So the only comments I have is they still have some strange rules, very bad leverage, and we've seen a lot of payout denials and bans in our community. So for me, D tier. Then next up, we've got Lark Funding. For me, is a C tier prop firm. So the reason I've got here is that they're very low reviews for the time they've been around. So they've been around since 2022 and only 430 reviews. So that's not good. Also high price, and then still not much traffic for this company, which could be a problem due to how prop firms operate, obviously. So for me, it is a C tier. All right, next up, we've got E8. So E8 for me is going to be a B tier. What I've got written for them is they've had a big drop in their Trustpilot review since last time. They have a lot of recent changes in their accounts. I've been affected myself with these rules, but I'm not going to make it about me. They do pay, however. We've had a lot of our clients saying that they do pay. They are good for our US clients, and they have been giving a lot of high payouts. So for me, E8 is going to be a B tier prop firm. Right, next up, we have Aquafunded. Aquafunded for me is going to be a D tier. So the reason being is that they had a massive drop in their Trustpilot rating and a huge increase in their 1-star rating. So for me, they're definitely going to be dropping down to a D tier. Seeing a lot of bad complaints coming about Aquafunded. Right, next up, we've got Instant Funding, which is a B tier for me. The reason being is that they are trending a little bit lower than last year with no huge increase in ratings, a lot of rule changes as well, but they have a great one-step challenge. Our community is loving their one-step. The only other small issue, I would have probably put these guys A, but the other issue they have is the not allowing to trade with the VPS. But overall, I would put these guys as a B tier because there's a lot of good things about Instant Funding. All right, next up, we're talking about Quantech. And now Quantech is something I've seen a lot of complaints about recently. What I've put here is a lot of complaints around payout denials for no explanation. So there seems to be kind of just random denials for payouts. I'm seeing that a lot across the board, and I've heard a lot in our community about Quantech as well. So for me at the moment, D tier. So next up, we've got Blueberry Funded, which is a very new prop firm, but this is one of the reasons I'm only putting them in a C tier. So because of the high number of 1-star ratings that they've got, so they've got an overall 4.1% on Trustpilot, but 19% of those are 1-star. So not good to see, and they are also fairly high priced. So for me, they're going in the C tier. Very new though, so they have got room to improve. All right, next up, Definitive Funding, guys. I'm putting them in the D tier. So the reason being, guys, is they have the highest 1-star rating of all the firms. If you see here, they are 21% 1-star, and I'm seeing a lot of this kind of thing come up. A lot of people shouting out scams, specifically around payments and just kind of cutting people's accounts, which we don't like to see. So for that reason, Definitive Funding is going to go in the D tier for me. So Funding Traders is next. I was going to put them in the B tier, but ended up putting them down to the C tier. The reason being is they seem to have some very strict consistency rules that are actually affecting a lot of our clients. And more recently, we've been seeing this a lot. So I kind of was messing around with B for a while, but I think C has to be where they go for now, just because of what I'm seeing at the moment. All right, next up, we've got Funded Trading Plus. These guys are going to be going in the B tier. The only thing that I could really find that as a drawback was their lower leverage at 1 to 30. Otherwise, I probably would have had them in the A. Everything was looking good. You know, they're very high rating, very low 1%. Pricing was good. Their rules and regulations are all good. Payouts have been good. Available to the USA. Everything was perfect, but the only thing was just the leverage was a little bit on the low side. So I'm going to give them a B. Now, you know what? We'll bump them up to A. I think we'll put them in the A. That's the only thing that I can find is the leverage. So I'm going to change that right now. Let's put them in the A. All right, guys. Next up is Ola Prime, and I was going to put them in B. Currently taking a challenge myself, doing fairly well. But the reason being is I've actually seen a lot of people complaining about them saying denials due to them only trading one pair. So they are either denying a account or payouts because they're saying they're only trading one pair. And I find that such a weird thing, right? I teach Forex and I've done this for a long time. I've done education. And one of the main things we say is don't trade too many pairs. A lot of times I say try to only trade one pair. So very strange that they're saying that's the reason you can't get your payout or move on to a funded account because you're only trading one pair. So for me, I'm putting them into C for now. I'm going to see what they say when I do pass. Positive, I'm going to pass. All right, next up, guys, is Pip Farm. Another one that I was probably going to be putting in B tier. I said C tier. The reason I said that is that they have a slightly higher price, but you know, that's not a bad thing. And they've got slightly lower leverage and newer. I feel like maybe I'm being a bit harsh. I did do a review on them recently. They do look good. I'm going to bump them up to a B for now. I think Pip Farm is looking pretty good. I'm actually going to be taking their challenge very soon. All right, next up, guys, Effexify. I feel like the only place I can really put them at the moment is a C tier. Reason being is that they have slightly worse rating on Trustpilot than the last time, and their 1% rating has also gone up. And also that I've seen that their rules can be very confusing and unclear. This is coming through a lot, especially in our community, and I've seen this in other social places as well, where people are saying, you know, very confusing rules. All right, guys, next up is 5%. So I think this one is pretty clear. This has to be another S tier for me. Another one of the gold standards. The reason I'm saying that is because they've been around probably one of the longest apart from FTMO, and they are the highest rated on Trustpilot review. I think they're up there on, they're near about 15 to 20,000 reviews with a 4.9 rating. So you cannot beat that. The only thing I can say is that they don't allow you to hold more than 100K in challenges at a time. I think you are allowed to take some of the smaller ones at the same time, but not really a big drawback because you can take some of the other types of challenges. You can go for the higher accounts as well. Brilliant for scaling. Probably one of the best prop firms out there in terms of scaling. scaling. Right, next up, funding pips. This one was very close to an A tier for me, but I ended up bumping them down to a B tier. The reason being is that they obviously will do interviews. They're doing more and more interviews. They have a pretty strict breaching system, which we've actually seen them go quite far back into people's history for the breaching, but they have one of the highest in payouts. From that payout junction I was telling you about, funding pips, the highest in payouts. So, you know, from that point of view, I'm going to leave them in the B tier. Next up, guys, Funded Next for me was very close, but they're going to be A tier, another A tier prop firm. And the reason being is that they have remained super consistent and have a very high total tracked number of payouts. You know, that's what you want to see from a prop firm, that they ultimately are paying you out. Okay, so I've left this one for last, and that's Funder Pro, because this is one that I was kind of talking about. And, you know, some people will probably be looking at putting this in C or D based on the ratings. Now, let me go and show you this. So their ratings are quite low at 3.9. They've only been around since 2003. They have only got a 1-step and a 2-step, and their pricing is kind of what you would expect, around $500 for the 2-step. Rules are all okay. Now, one reason I think these guys are getting rated so low is that they have things like, for their 1-step, they have a 14% profit target, and then for the 2-step on phase 2 is an 8% profit target. So I think this is maybe one of the reasons people are kind of, you know, rating them so poorly. But once you get to the actual funded account, we have a lot of our members on the funded account, because getting through the 14% and the 10% and 8% is no problem with the EA that our guys are using and our system. So that's not a problem. But once they get to the funded account, they've got this daily payouts, and essentially you can take payouts multiple times in a day. We've had some clients taking a payout twice a day, but pretty much the second you hit a profit target, you can take your payout. So what a lot of our guys are doing is like 1K, take payout, 1K, take payout, 1K. So they're making way more money with this prop firm than any other prop firm, just because of the daily payouts. So I'm going to be putting these guys B tier, because in our community, everyone is loving Funder Pro. So it's really interesting to see that they are kind of rated so low. Now, I think it's just slightly different. They're doing things slightly different, which maybe is affecting it. But, you know, from our point of view, it has not affected, in fact, one of our more popular prop firms. So that's it, guys. That's the prop firm tier list. I hope you guys agree. If not, let me know. Would you put them anywhere else? Would you put any other prop firms on here? Like I said, the prop firms that are not on here is just because we don't have enough data. As we get more and more prop firms coming through our system, we'll probably be updating this tier list more and more. But for now, there's 20 prop firms there. I think that's a good number. Now, talking about our community, talking about all of that, if you guys are interested in passing prop firms like 1,200 in our community, then make sure you go to www.propfarming.com, have a look at the demo video. All the information is there. You guys would absolutely love it. With that being said, subscribe if you haven't. Come on, just subscribe, man. You're gonna love the content we've got for you guys. Always talking about prop firms. If you like prop firms, this is the place to be. If you like trading, this is the place to be. Join us. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.